right, breaking news coming in at the moment. The DGMO level talks between India and Pakistan have now been delayed. The two countries were scheduled to speak again on the hotline. As per sources, the hotline glitch has caused this delay. The talks will only be at the level of the DGMO. Remember, the Directors General of Military Operations, which is also the level at which the mutual understanding was reached on halting of all military actions between the two countries. So the big update coming in at the moment is that DGMO level talks have now been delayed. They will happen sometime later in the evening. And that reason has been attributed to a glitch, a technical glitch in the hotline. We'll of course keep getting you updates on what has been happening. All right, but let's shift our focus now to the impact of Operation Sindoor. Look at this. This is the Bhullari Airfield. This is the before image of what it was. And look at what Operation Sindoor has done. This was what it was. And after India's strike, this is what happened. Remember, Pakistan has been denying that nothing of this sort has happened. But here is the visual evidence. Here's the visual proof. The other one, a very crucial airbase of Pakistan, is the Jacobabad Airfield. Look at this. The before picture is here, as was shown by the DGMOs in their press conference yesterday. And look at the after effect of what it has done. A completely damaged airfield is what we are seeing under Operation Sindoor. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the impact of Operation Sindoor. That is Jacobabad Airfield. Now look at this. Before and after, the kind of impact, and that is the kind of impact that we're talking about. There's another one. The Sukkur Airfield is, extremely important when we talk about Pakistan's Air Force. And look at this. This is the before picture. This was impacted here. As you can see, the Indian military strikes have ruined this airfield, the Sukkur Airfield in Pakistan, extremely important. Once again, these are strategic locations, remember, which India has been able to target because Pakistan escalated this entire situation. Kaklala Airfield, extremely important, very close to Islamabad. Look at this. This is the before picture. This is how it looked earlier. And after the military strikes, look at this. Devastation and complete damage of what was being used against India. And that, ladies and gentlemen, also reflects the Indian Armed Forces' superiority and military prowess in making sure that no collateral damage happens. Only these targeted areas are damaged. They suffer destruction. Look at this. This is the Rahim Airfield. This was shown yesterday at the DGMO press conference. This is the before picture. This was on target by the Indian military strikes. And look at this. The after effect is this. This has been destroyed, as you can see in these images that were shared by the Indian Armed Forces in that crucial press conference. Look at this. This is a clearer picture of what was the target. That airfield, that airbase, which was used against India, was targeted. Another one is the Sargodha Airfield. Look at this. This was, also a very congested area, as you can see in the visuals. This was what was being targeted. This was being, struck by India's military. This is the after effect. Look at the destruction, the damage that it has caused. All of these black dots, black color that you see is the damage that has been caused on the airbase. My colleague Rishabh is joining us at the moment. Rishabh, even as we tell our viewers the kind of impact that Operation Sindoor has had, we've been showing the before and after visuals of the air bases that were struck by India's military under Operation Sindoor. We're also getting to know now that the DGMO talks have been delayed. What more do you have on that?
Well, what we are given to understand, the DGMO level talks between India and Pakistan was scheduled at 12 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time. Between 12 to 12:20, the hotlines could not get connected. At 12:20 is what we are given to understand that the hotlines did get connected, but there were glitches in the audio from both the sides, and then the officers decided to reconnect in the evening. This is what we are given to understand, that from the Pakistan side, the hotline was not clear, which means that whatever from the other side on the secured line was being spoken was not being able to be heard this side. And similarly, when Indian DGMO or officers were trying to connect, it was a difficulty connecting the Pakistani DGMO office on the hotline. And that's the reason that now DGMO level talks have been rescheduled between 4:45 or 5 o'clock in the evening is what we're given to understand. At around 4:45, the reconnection will take place. Having said that, remember, this is the third DGMO level talk in last 4 days. First, on Friday, there was a or first on Saturday, there was a DGMO level talk at around 3:35 p.m. India time, where Pakistan urged India to come to a ceasefire or an understanding. Within hours of that, we saw shelling, we saw firing, we saw drones coming in along international borders as well as line of control.
Right.
Then India retorted, and we heard Vikram Misri, the foreign secretary, very categorically calling out Pakistan for breaching the understanding between India and Pakistan. In the press conference yesterday, DGMO confirmed that there was a call in the morning, on Sunday morning as well, where India reprimanded Pakistan for breaching the understanding, and also very clearly told them that if this gets repeated, India will respond in a greater might, and then there will be no U-turn from there. After that, we haven't seen much activity on the line of control or the border last night as well. The last night was actually the first night in last 14-15 days when there were no hostilities along LOC or international border. Today, the DGMO level talks were supposed to happen. Hasn't happened yet is what we are given to understand.
Okay.
5 o'clock is the time.
Okay, so that of course will come in later this evening, as Rishabh you were telling us. But thanks very much, Rishabh, for getting us those details. DGMO talks being delayed for the moment. But look at this. What is the Noor Khan Airbase, how it has been impacted, how the DGMOs showed yesterday in their press conference. This was the target area. Extremely important. Noor Khan, remember, is near Islamabad, and just the fact that Indian military has been able to penetrate into that distance and strike exactly what it wanted to reflects the kind of military prowess that we have. No collateral damage in this entire process. Remember, and that is very crucial, because on the Pakistani side, that hasn't been the case. They had specifically targeted our civilians. Look at this, the after effect of Operation Sindoor. The airbase facility had sustained considerable damage. As you can see, this black color is all the destruction that has happened. There was a truck here, another truck, and at least 2 trucks have been likely military support related at this particular airbase, which had been destroyed. And that is why, of course, we've been saying that this is the kind of strong impact that Pakistan has felt. And that is why, General Sivaj, we see a rattled Pakistan having run to the United States of America, because obviously it cannot handle the kind of impact that Operation Sindoor has had on its infrastructure there.
2 issues are very important. One is that we have broken the backbone of the infrastructure of the terrorists there in Pakistan by hitting the 9 to 10 their centers where the terrorism is being emanating, and especially the 3 headquarters of Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Toba and Hizbul Mujahideen, Muridabad, and then Bawalpur, and also Sharpur. Another very important thing which has been done is 11 airfields have been hit, and 20% of the infrastructure of these airfields have been completely destroyed. They are non-functional. It will take 2 to 3 months for them to become fully operational. In fact, majority of them are not able to even have a runway which is functional. Noor Khan, Sargodha, Skardu, Jacobabad are badly hit. Almost about 30% they have been. The third thing which we have managed to do is that act of terrorism will be considered act of war. This is a new normal. This Pakistan will realize it in time to come. In case if it start emanating terrorism from its side the way it was doing, this time the response will be the one response which we are given now. So I suppose that is very, very important. And fourth thing is that Indus Water Treaty will remain held in abeyance. We are not going to speak about it. Possibly in time to come, it may be again revised rather than following the same old Indus Water Treaty, which is favoring Pakistan more than us. Okay. As far as Jammu Kashmir is concerned, this will not be discussed between both the countries. The Jammu and Kashmir is completely part of India.
Yeah.
We have said in Parliament in 1994, the only thing which is left as far as J&K is concerned, to give back that area which is illegally occupied by Pakistan. I suppose certain things are very clear. But one thing is where the technical powers of India has been displayed. You know, within 4 days, you have managed to convey to the Pakistan that if they continue fighting with us, they stand no chance. Because
Yes.
within 4 days, we have crippled their air defense system. That is the biggest achievement. Second thing is, you know, our silent is a navy, which was there in Arabian Sea, which could basically cut the supply chain of Pakistan. Pakistan do not have a capability of fighting a war more than 4 to 5 days. It does not have a RT ammunition. Its fuel can only look after about 100 to 150 kilometers.
Yeah.
Tanks cannot move thereafter. So
Sure.
the point is, I suppose Pakistan has realized it. Unless they don't have a ceasefire, they have no chance. And now they must be thinking.
Yeah, there's an important point.
Absolutely.
Shreya.
Yeah. Yeah. Captain Dave, I'll come back to you. Just a moment. I have to
Shreya.
explain to our viewers the kind of air capabilities that General Sivach is talking about. Let's quickly shift our focus to the Bhullari Airbase. Let's also tell you about the kind of impact that Operation Sindoor has had. Look at this. Point by point impact of what has been there. This was the target area. This was the before image of what the DGMOs showed yesterday. There's a hangar with a short taxi to runway as well. And look at this. The after effect of Operation Sindoor is this. The black color, all of this damage. Now, what are these? There's a possible structural damage here. There was a munition point that was here that has suffered damage. There is, the front area, of course, and the back area. All of these having a possible structural damage, to this entire structure. Look at this. This is the kind of impact that Operation Sindoor has had. And we're showing you these visuals because remember, as we speak, Pakistan is peddling lies that it has suffered no damage and that it has done more damage to India. But look at these, visuals don't lie, and this is evidence enough to show you what Pakistan has suffered. We'll come back to this as well as our conversation. Right now, we're slipping into a short break. We continue on the other side.